You are a G3. Do you want to become an Adonis? Yo guys, Max here. I've been watching a lot of HAMZA's videos lately and I think they are a great inspiration, but there is a little detail that bothers me a lot with what he says. Full disclaimer, what he says is right most of the time, but it's very superficial. More specifically, I've been watching this video recently in which he says that the three things a guy needs to be irresistible with women is to be ambitious, non-needy, and light. And yeah, I mean, it's difficult to argue with that. No girl is going to tell you that she doesn't like a guy who does those things. But where he places this as irresistible, I'm going to place those things are just being normal. Where he places those things as being the ultimate man, I'm just going to place those things as not being unattractive. Because the truth is that if you are ambitious, non-needy, and that you are light, you're not going to be irresistible. Girls are not going to chase you because of that. Girls are going to have a good time hanging out with you, that's true. But if you're not getting results now, it's not gonna get you more results. You can have all those great qualities, girls who meet you, it won't make them like you. Now it's true, it's gonna encourage girls who met you and who like you already to stay with you longer. For example, if you want a long-term relationship. But a girl you just met, she's not gonna go with you because you're non-needy, ambitious, and light. It's for sure going to make you more engaging to her, but it's not going to push her if she's on the fence. The real thing that's going to make you irresistible to women is your polarity. And the best part is that I'm sure you know that already. I'm sure you noticed that already. When you go out, you see guys go home with girls and you have no idea whether those guys are non-needy, ambitious, light, so on and so forth, because all those great qualities are irrelevant. And I'm sure that happened to you before. I'm sure at some point you brought a girl home and she had no idea how ambitious and how light-hearted you were. Those things are nice, but they don't create this necessary tension, this sexual tension between you and a girl. Those things don't make her want to go home with you. So let me explain a little bit. When I'm talking about polarity, I'm talking about how a girl is going to feel that distance and that tension between you and her, and how you're going to make her want to bridge that gap. For example, you meet a girl at a party and she gets kind of a feeling that you like her because of the way you look at her, but she's not sure. That's going to create tension. The fact she knows or not that you're non-needy, ambitious, and light, it's not going to make her want to bridge that gap, but feeling that tension that maybe he likes me, maybe he doesn't, he seems kind of attractive, I don't know, I want to figure out. That's this feeling that's going to make her want to close the gap, to chase, to get to know you more. And it's very interesting because it's something that you have 100% control over in the moment. It's very actionable. Being ambitious, working on yourself, going to the gym, making more money, those things are totally first irrelevant when you meet a girl, by the way, but also you can't act on those things. Yes, work on yourself at all times, but that should be kind of your baseline, background, self-development kind of things that you do. To attract girls that you meet, all those things are not actionable and not relevant. What's relevant is the tension that you're going to create between you and her. Now, what's interesting though is that developing those qualities of being ambitious, non-needy, and light are going to help you create that sexual tension and create that gap that she will want to close towards you. But if you don't know how to translate those attractive qualities into what is going to get a girl to chase, the girl is not going to chase you. And so that's why I really like what HAMZA says. It's very correct, very broad, but totally not actionable when you meet a girl. It's not that it's wrong, it's that it's not enough to get results. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to create this polarity. You need to put women you meet in a position where they think that you are into them, but they are not sure that you are into them. I was watching HAMZA's video, especially this moment when he says that a man who's ambitious is more attractive, and that's very correct. I agree that when I was more broke, when I was younger, when I had less experience with women, I had this hunger to try things and to figure out what works. I was ambitious, but in itself the ambition didn't help. What helped me was the actions that came out of this ambition. And so I remember very vividly, for example, when I was traveling in China 10 years ago, I would be totally broke, like living off random odd jobs, and I was dating a girl, for instance, at some point who used to date a millionaire. It was not because I was rich, because obviously I wasn't at the time, but it was because I was fucking ambitious. I was trying things, I was making moves out of sheer hunger. Again, it's not just be ambitious, it's the actions that come out of you being ambitious. And the thing is that some actions that are going to help you, some other actions they are not going to help you. But for instance, I remember how I met this girl. I was sitting in in front of a club, and at the time I was very deep into, out of my ambition, trying to figure out ways to properly open the conversation, open a girl when I meet them in the club. And so this girl would walk to go inside the club. I was waiting by the door of the club. When she came by, I locked eye contact with her, and then when she was at my level, I grabbed her hand and I made her spin. Then I pulled her closer and I said hello. Those things are creating polarity. Again, being ambitious alone wouldn't help me, but the ambition pushed me to experiment and do things that eventually happen to be actually attractive because they create this polarity. So put yourself in the girl's shoes when she meets a guy and the guy does that. He is not needy, he's just trying to have his own fun while potentially maybe being interested because he shows a little bit of intent. It's not every guy who's gonna try to spin random girls, but it's not a done thing either. It's not sure that the guy is interested. Again, that's how you create polarity, because you make a move, you dangle the value in front of the girl in the same way that you will dangle a little string in front of a cat, and if she wants to play with it, if she wants to see what happens next, she's going to play with you. So here is a simple formula for you to create that polarity. You make a move towards girls, you give them the hint that you are interested, and then you wait and you see how they react. If they meet you there, if they meet you halfway where you put that polarity, for example, you extend your arm for a girl to grab your hand, or you start the movement to make her spin and she follows through, when you notice that, you're golden. And if you make a move and she doesn't follow through, it's not a problem either, because if you get upset that she doesn't follow your lead, then you're killing the polarity, because then indeed you're being needy and that's not a good thing. But if you throw the value out there and you give her the opportunity to react, then the polarity is on her and then she's gonna feel you. But again, keep in mind that you have to try to make those moves. Just being there and chill and doing nothing and saying, oh, I'm ambitious, I'm not needy, I'm not making moves, I'm light, I don't care. Just doing that is not gonna get you any result. It's gonna get you a zero. You need to take action and you need to take risks to create this polarity, and you need to create this sexual tension. Doing nothing and just having the feelings that you are cool and chill and light and ambitious and not needy is not going to create anything. You need to take massive tons of action without caring about the outcome. You're totally focused on the thing that you're doing. You're totally focused on the actions that you're doing. You're 0% focused on the reactions of the girls. Very important in my experience, it makes a huge difference. You always want to associate those principles, those mindsets of an attractive guy with the actual actions of an attractive guy, because if you don't, the girl's not gonna feel anything, and if the girl doesn't feel the polarity, you're not gonna get anywhere with that girl. So yeah, I really like what HAMZA says. It's just that in most cases it's too broad, it's too vague, it's too superficial, and it's not actionable enough. I really believe that you need to have the correct mindset, but you also need to stack the correct actions on top of that mindset. Yes, having the correct mindset makes taking action easier, but you need to take that action. So go out there, practice talking to girls. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. Consider liking and subscribing if you would like to see more, and I will see you guys next time.